If you are listening to this podcast, then you already know that it's episode 22. Give yourself a break because good things happen when we break. Thanks for tuning in. This is Eve Davis Paul, and you are listening to Vanquisher. What's going on to all of my lovely listeners near and far? I know we have listeners as far as Germany and Australia. I'm sending love all the way over there from Virginia to you guys. I appreciate each and every listener. Y'all know that I got to get this damn disclaimer out the way. So here it is. I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. I am not a counselor of any kind. Please do not take anything that you hear on the show and try to substitute it for professional help. It will not work. So just don't fucking try. Just leave the shit alone. We all have something here in common. We know what that thing is. We're not going to give it power. But I just want to let you know that if you are needing any professional help, log on over to our website. At the bottom of the very first page, you're going to see, I believe it's like a help link. You click on that and it'll bring you to every single hotline that you can imagine. No matter what you're going through, our safety and our health, our mental health and our care for ourselves is what comes first here on this show. With that being said, let's get into the fucking show. If you don't know our website, you do need one of those links. Perfectly fine. I love you. Email me. We can chat about it as well. Head over to our website to get those hotline links and numbers, www.vankpod.com. And of course, you can email me at vankpod@gmail.com. We are triumphing over maternal narcissism. So each like, share, follow is literally how I get paid. Whether I'm getting paid in recognition or by donation via PayPal, this podcast wants to help more people, and your commitment is what I find solace in. Knowing that I'm not just talking to a few people in a crowd, just speaking to a few people out there, knowing that it's more than just a few people makes me feel really great. So please subscribe, rate, and review. And for those of you who have, thank you so much. I do want to send a special, very, very, very special thank you to Tara. I'm hoping that it's Tara and not Tara. I'm going to go with Tara. Tara sounds better. To me, it feels better flowing. So I hope that it is Tara. But if it's not Tara or Tara, I really want to just thank you. We shared a couple of messages and your donation really helped the podcast. What I can say is that Tara is a listener of the show, and her donation last week blew me away. Thank you so much. And because of you, the software that I used to put VankPod on 6 different platforms was paid for. It was paid for the entire month. And I still have $5 left over. So I know that may not sound like a lot to some of you guys, but trust me, with research, with software, with subscriptions, the late nights and the personal sacrifices I make to bring this content to you, it's so nice to see that my listeners support my strength and journey enough to give. Thank you again, Tara. Sending you so much love and so much light for other listeners to donate to the show. Click the link in this episode description or head on over to our site and hit support the show at the top. Again, the site is www.vankpod.com. At the top of that, you'll see a little button, support the show. Click there. Also, for my Twitter users, we have started a convo list. Follow us at VankPod on Twitter, and I will add you to that list. Here's a tip for those of us who are somewhat off the grid. I know that it can get so lonely, and we can just feel just like we have no one. We're sort of out here alone. We listen to this podcast in private. We're not able to talk to anybody or express this to anybody. People feel like we're crazy. We all know what that feels like. So I just want to let you know that you're not alone and that here's an option for you as well. Twitter allows for you to be able to create an anonymous account, and you're able to follow me, the page, and then some other helpful pages there that I am able to provide to people that do follow. I'll just send it to you in a message. But I also am able to pull you into the conversation that we're having. You have just interaction. You sort of begin to build a world of these people who understand, who relate, who can support you and help you through this. So if you go to twitter.com, set up an account, use an email, you're able to make the name and the photo whatever you like. You follow the Vank Pod, and I'll be able to pull you into not only our episode conversation, but also send other resources your way. So do not feel left out. We are all in this together, and there is room for all of us. Again, I don't know how many times I can say I love each and every one of you. I feel like every single time I sit down at this desk that I pull strength from each and every one of you. I'm not going to get emotional, but I feel like I'm sort of like championing, at the Olympics when they have the torch. I feel like I'm holding that torch for all of us. You guys are never alone. You've never left me alone. I truly appreciate being back with you guys with a clear mind, with a clear goal. So let's get into the show. Again, episode 22, give yourself a break. Give yourself a fucking break. No, I don't mean a Kit Kat. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself a break. Make some time for yourself. I was thinking about what this episode would be, what it would be about, things I would mention. I usually brainstorm quotes for inspiration. When I can't catch a spark, I'll be on like Pinterest, scrolling and shit, Googling shit, just really trying to find some type of inspiration. So I came across this quote and it resonated with me. And the quote is, "Your calm mind is the ultimate weapon against your challenges. So relax." When I read this quote, I had probably searched through like 50. I just continue to read them until I find something that sticks. And it was just like, wow, like that's really fucking good. I started to think about the break that I took, not only for clarity with where the podcast was going, but just for my mental health. It doesn't really mean that something is wrong for you to have to take a break. Taking a break is normal. We're in this rat race. We're doing all of these things every single day. The kids, the spouse, the job, the coworkers, the traffic. I mean, it goes on and on and on. It's sometimes like we never get a break. So I saw this quote and I'm just like, wow, over this break, some very powerful things happened. And I just wanted to be able to share that with everyone because I feel that more of us should learn how to break. And I know that I wouldn't have found the calm peace of mind that I was able to discover and that I have now if I did not break. And just take time to listen, because breaking and just pausing, stopping, allows our inner desires to reveal themselves to us. It sort of reminds me of, how do I know what I want if I haven't taken time to sit still with myself long enough to hear myself tell myself what I want, and most importantly, what I need. I do want to run the quote back by you guys one more time to also give you the name of the person that wrote the quote. His name is Bryant McGill, and that's Bryant, like Kobe Bryant. McGill is that last name, McGill. I recently came across this quote, and I didn't know that I have also liked other quotes of his. Bryant is a human potential thought leader, international best-selling author, activist, and social entrepreneur. He actually tweeted me back to say that it was okay for me to be able to use the quote. I just wanted to confirm with him that it was in fact correct. Y'all know the internet be lying some damn time. Internet be lying like shit 30% of the time. But he also has appeared in Psychology Today. A lot of my research comes through Psychology Today. He's super huge and influential in personal empowerment. And if you guys would like to follow him, he always has positive things on his Instagram and on his Twitter. Bryant McGill. And one more time, that quote is, "Your calm mind is the ultimate weapon against your challenges. So relax." For me, that really just means the challenges that I have, no matter how big, no matter how small, the first thing that I have to realize is that if I'm able to center myself, and the way that I think about it is focusing either on the tip of my nose or at the core of my belly. So right at my belly button, I'll bring all of my focus. Sometimes I close my eyes and I'll breathe and I'll focus on the tip of my nose. And it's like, just focus on the tip of your nose. It's round. It's there. It's prominent. I inhale and I think about all of the good things that I have, the things that I can control. I don't allow my time to be taken away from me in these moments where I just need a break. If you can't find an 8-week break, as far as just stepping away from something that you're doing or that you need a break from, go to a quiet place, even if you have to sit in your car for just a moment. Just breathe. Remember that the challenges that you have, a calm mind is the ultimate weapon, because you're able to not only think clear, but you're also able to discover things that are right there. And usually the solution itself comes in the quietness that your calm mind will provide you. I know that during my break, my calm mind was the ultimate gift to me. And that's simply because the moment that I sat still long enough to listen to my peace, to listen to my soul, I was able to connect so many dots. I had been having the worst time with my diet. Some of you may know I was vegetarian for about 7 years, and I moved to Atlanta about 5 years ago. And where I lived, there weren't a lot of vegan or vegetarian places. Not knowing how to cook, I started back eating meat. When I came back to DC, I was still eating meat. This was 2015, something like that. Met my wife, we dated, and right before our wedding, we both decided to stop eating meat. Fast forward to over my break, that 8-week break, I was able to connect a few dots with why I was eating a lot of sugary things, a lot of sweet things, things that stimulated those dark areas and very painful areas of mine. I would continue to eat to those very feelings. And only in the break that I took was I able to connect why. As a young kid, the times that I was around my grandparents, my grandmom especially, I was given a lot of treats, a lot of candy, a lot of honey buns, a lot of pastries, donuts, cupcakes. I had a shit ton of cavities by the age of 8. I had 9 cavities at 8, and I had to have 2 root canals. So that lets you know how much sweet, sugary things that she was giving me. And I found that the comfort that I was taking in my adult life in eating things that were sugary and sweet and just overindulging and just eating to the point where it just made no sense. Eating half a cake by myself, eating a gallon of ice cream by myself. Those things are not normal, but they are normal, and until we actually take a break long enough to see why, to be able to hear why, it will continue. It's not like we can't stop, because every single thing that we need, we actually have the tools to stop it, to make it go, to make it grow, to say no. I was rhyming like shit. That was actually pretty good. We have the ability to stop those things. So what I found was that, wow, I am eating to comfort myself, because she would usually give me these sweet things when I came messing with her, bothering her, when she just needed her space. Ultimately, I was the only youngest child girl in my immediate family. My cousin and brother are 10 plus years older than me. So I was the youngest little girl, and they were out with their buddies, and I was always in the house. I was always left behind the short period of time that I was with my grandparents. And I feel that my grandmother, in feeling guilty for that, would give me sweets, would give me treats, would give me things that, it's okay for a kid to have every now and then, but not every day, not 3 and 4 times a day. In the break that I did have from the podcast, I was like, I really want to go back vegan, but it seems like there's something that is literally smothering me from being able to breathe when I want to make a healthier choice as far as food, as far as not being able to control myself and have ultimate mind control over not eating things that I should not eat. And I had to realize that, wow, the connection is grandma used to give me sweets to comfort me. She used to give me cookies and treats and cakes to comfort me, to make me forget about my loneliness, to make me not notice the pain. And when I noticed that and when I spoke that, literally the craving went away the exact same day. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not eating sweets anymore. I'm no longer the child that was left alone. I'm no longer the child that was hurt. I'm no longer the child that was left behind. And it's been about 8 weeks since I've had anything sweet, and I actually haven't craved it. I have been having smoothies in the morning. I have gone back completely vegan. It's been amazing. And I've learned not only how to cook in this small amount of time, but I've also learned how to still give myself sweets, but through my fruits and vegetables. And to me, that's just groundbreaking. And I know that if I would not have taken this break, I wouldn't have stumbled upon this. I would not have noticed this, because we get so caught up in the repetition that we don't leave ourselves time. So that was super big for me. The second thing that I discovered is that death is not a sad thing, but an opportunity to be happy for those who have transitioned. So over the break, I lost a very good friend of mine, very great guy, super talented guy. He lost control of his car and passed away on impact. It was a super sad situation and very unexpected. He had just turned 24, and it just was very unexpected. Now, I have not been to a funeral since my brother was killed in 2011. So over 7 years ago was the last time that I had been to a funeral. And I've lost people. Like, I've lost, great grandmother who I love dearly. I've lost a few good friends, and I haven't gone to any funerals. I have not. It hasn't even been a possibility. Like, it's not even something that I've thought about, because I said after my brother was killed, I'm never going to another funeral ever again. I was able to go to my good friend's funeral and be present and be aware, and understand that I'm not the grieving little sister. I'm not the broken young adult just stepping into her adulthood and suffering a huge, large loss. I noticed that the work that I've been doing on my emotional state and on my mental state has allowed for me to be able to sit and look at his life and his legacy, and see that with him transitioning, that he is most lucky to be as fortunate to get to a place and have eternal life. 7 years ago, nobody would have ever been able to explain that or rationalize or justify why I should be happy for someone being free, the ultimate free. And I find so much solace in that and so much peace in that. It is important to break, because when we break, we are able to hear, we're able to learn, we're able to rejuvenate and reboost and reboot ourselves. That pain that I was holding on to, that I was making my present self, like I was literally making that a part of my present personality. Like, oh, I don't go to funerals. Like I said, I haven't gone to a funeral since my brother was killed, and I'm not fucking going to one. I was literally making that a part of my personality. And the moment that I decided to just stop, I was able to find that, okay, you've been doing this work You've been helping yourself. You've been reading. You've been educating yourself. You have this podcast where you're able to interact with so many other people who can relate to the lifestyle that you have had yourself. And not only that, but that I, every single day, am leaving a piece of the little hurt girl behind. And that's something that I don't think I noticed either before the break. Being able to say that I am no longer the weeping, sad little girl in the woman body is amazing. I'm shedding skin that sounds gross as shit. Oh my God. I'm shedding skin every single day. And it is amazing. So I want you guys to know that it's okay to just stop. You owe nobody an explanation to give yourself a break, because you can either give yourself a break with a choice here to do so, or you're going to be forced and pushed into a place where it's going to be either an unhealthy break, a breakdown, hell, a break up. I would prefer for it to be a breakthrough, just like it was for me. Make time for yourself to break while you still have the choice to, while you are in control. Because if you're listening to this podcast, you are in control. It just doesn't feel like it. Take your break so that you can hear the things that you need to see and learn and be in the things that are for you. Don't continue to go with the rat race. Don't continue to go on somebody else's time. Take your break now. If you would love to continue hearing content like this, please leave us 5 stars, subscribe, and review the show. Tell us what you feel about it. Tell us how it's helped you. Also, follow us to keep up with the show and the conversation. Again, on Facebook, at Vanquisher the Podcast, on Twitter at VankPod, and on Instagram at VankPod. I love you guys. Much love. Until next time.